What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and today, my friends, we discuss, we debate. I'm giving you the ranking, the top 10 center backs in FIFA 20, and this is highly debatable because in this position, there's at least 30 plus top tier options. Interchangeability all over the virtual pitch. What league do you prefer? This icon? Do you need that team of the season? This upgrade? Oh, I like that partnership. Perfect. We're gonna talk about it. And if you want the central midfield, drop a like on this video. I think that'll be our next iteration. And I do have a question right off the rip. How should we separate holding mids, center mids, attacking mids? Multiple videos? Do we link certain positions together? I just want to make sure I get it right. Maybe I'll put a poll down below in the comments. Please let me know. Because in my opinion, central midfielders, center mid and a holding mid, they go in the same category. You link those together. The roles aren't that different. But an attacking mid, a true number 10, night and day. Don't let me down in the comments, and I want to see your list. I have controversial choices. I'm sure of that. And we have a special guest coming on towards the end of the episode. We'll see if we agree or we disagree. How much we disagree. Got a pro player. Yes, sir. Let's run it. Canavaro. The little big Italian. Big heart. Big cojones. Leadership qualities on 100. The front runner of the agility club. You don't need Nikes. You just need Canavaro. Put that on a shirt. Where my Italians at? Boateng. Let's be specific. Rewinding the time. Boateng. What's that big clock? Grandmaster clock. That almost sounds as if he's going to become an up-and-coming rapper. Old school rapper. Grandmaster Boateng. I don't think that's right. Grandfather clock. Big old clock. 6'4", Virgil vibes in the Bundesliga. Link them up with Davies. Defense sorted. 1-2 partnership, hybrid, green links. You've got your squad started. The German Escalade. I like that. Diego Carlos. He's in that anomaly crew. Early iteration, it was an 84. Got upgraded to an 86. Both put in work. Both grinded out the title. Put them on the map. At least the FIFA map. Where's the final destination? Oh, it's arrived. 91. Team of the season. The Europa jump rope. I'm not sure that made any sense. He's charged up or recharging or supercharged. Been spending time on the beach in Rio. Brazilian flavor. Getting all the views. Soaking those views up. The Brazilian that could. Team of the season. Goodness. Did I mention easy link ups? La Liga and defenders, they go hand in hand. Rio Ferdinand, part of the original iconic release or iconic promos. We've seen him as an OG in the FIFA community. We often discuss his baby, but I'm not talking kiddos. We debate the Ferdinand. Certain players have that pedigree. I'm not speaking about breeding animals or dogs, though we could compare him to a Rottweiler. Might be more fitting if we talked about the British Bulldog. Ferdinand gets busy. He's continued to be busy. Difficult man to get on the phone with. He's not responding to emails quickly. Busy. Eder Militao from an 81 to a 90 overall. Oh, we appreciate all of his versions, variations, drops, releases, promos. One of the most overpowered defenders we've seen in FIFA 20 before the upgrades, before the improvement. Bow down to the Brazilian. This here is indeed a premium flashback. Confirmed. Full confirmation. We like this. I'm not sure who he is, but I used him in my untradeable weekend league squad a couple weeks back. Hand clap. Hand clap. Blanc. Midway point. If you play like a punk, Blanc could be your bully. Immovable. 6'4". Big body. French pickup truck, takes up space, must enjoy looking at himself because he mirrors all the movements on the defensive end. You're not breaking him down. You don't want to see someone who's using an AI block. He's got that body type when he walks into a room, it makes other people uncomfortable. Brawly, wide, large, and in charge. All of that. Varane. 97 overall. Do I need to read stats? There's no reason to. The only reason you wouldn't have Varane in your top 5 is you can't get past his balance. 47. Suspect. If he got pulled over, even if he's sober, they ask him to walk in a straight line. If you're riding with Varane, you start to get a little nervous. You don't know if he can do it. Might tip over this way or that way. You'll hear it coming. Definitely got the right weight class. He doesn't turn with the same mobility as the other players in my list, but he has that it factor. You can't replace it. I'm not talking about the movie. He's not dressing up like a clown, but he will terrorize the opposing attackers, the opposing midfielders. He's a problem. And many, they simply don't have the answer. Man's a menace. bill collector, calling you at dinner time, asking you personal questions, pulling up to your apartment, to the crib, knocking on your door. You need to pay up. He's got requests. Don't make him angry. Virgil Van Dyke. Many of you, hold on. I know you can't believe I have him at number 3. Just hear me out. This is my list. And I want to play aggressive. I'm talking Jurassic Park, T-Rex, Raptor. Sure, a lion sees his prey. Virgil's Mr. Consistent. Sit back, relax, takes up space. Bruiser with an impeccable FIFA rapport, track record, achievements, accolades, all of that. I also feel that his 90 was relatively similar to his 99. If I was making this countdown earlier in the year, he'd be number 1. But I've just shifted the way that I'm getting down or getting up, playing the game. If you know you're going to sit back, you rely on the AI to do things for you, you can stay anonymous. But you could comment down below. You can let us know. Virgil should be your guy. There's no one who covers space better or sits deeper, blocks more shots. You shall not pass. Got his own clothing line. Anyways, I'm expecting the majority of you watching this video to have Virgil Van Dyke at number 1 or number 2. Understood. Opara. I cannot believe his base statistics are real. I just used them last weekend. If that hadn't have happened, he wouldn't be where he's at. We've never seen, witnessed, experienced a center back similar to Opara. Listen to me. 90 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, 99 agility, 94 balance. And don't even get me started on his physical statistics. Who does Opara know at EA? Serious question. This guy isn't human. He's morphed. Maybe he's a hybrid. Was he bred somewhere? Was he created? Can we call him Wolverine? Maybe he's the Terminator of center backs. He's some sort of mix between a track runner with footy credentials that also so happens to be 6'3". What? Topping the charts. Team of the season, Ramos. Knew the first time that I used him. Special. Endgame. Certified. Greatness on display. And one of the greatest center backs of all time. Whenever he retires, he'll have a claim of being the GOAT of center backs. Monumental. Build a statue. What hasn't he accomplished? What hasn't he won? And on the virtual pitch, if you want the back and forth, anticipation, recovery, slide tackles, maybe a couple red cards, this is your guy. That is all. If you enjoyed this portion of everything that's been happening, make sure to drop a like, but it's time to bring on the special guest. We've got bonus content, my friends. I like a second opinion. You like a second opinion. And we had to go after someone who knows what he's talking about. Zelonius, how's it hanging, my brother? I know it's late night. You still got some energy? Should I ship you out a Red Bull?
I mean, I could do with one, to be honest. I'm not very good in the heat, and it'd probably be cold for you, but it's pretty hot in England at the moment, so I'm mustering up my last energy to get a good discussion going here. But it's good to be on the video. I appreciate you inviting me, Mr. LaBelle.
Absolutely. Make sure to go over to Zelonius' channels, drop him a subscription. The man has been grinding it out all year. I know you had a lot of success this year, so good on you. We're happy to see that. And I just turned off the fan because I am wearing a jacket and I didn't think about it, but I have a fan hitting me right now. I don't want that background noise. So we have center backs.
Turn mine off.
I just went over my top 10 in the video. So Zelonius and I have not chatted about that. I'm going to give him my list, and then he's going to give me his list, and we're probably going to have some discussion. All you've told me is that you have some unusual choices. Is that fair to assume?
Yeah. Anyone who watches my content will know that I go for some random players that most people might not necessarily rate as highly as I do. I think the top few will be pretty consistent between us, but then the outliers, there's quite a few. I've got an honourable mentions list as well. I don't know if you've done that, but I've got a top 10.
I could have, but I cut it out. I like the whole, this is my 10, take it or leave it. I've done that before where I used to give the honorable mentions, but it ends up being just too nice. I say, you know what? I want to have a strong opinion. I want the stance. It is what it is. You're welcome to include it. Those are your disclaimer choices. It makes the people happier. You're like, hey, I did think about these 3 or 4 guys. I just want to let you know. They were in the debatable.
Well, the problem for me is that the top 1 is pretty obvious, I think. And then the top 5, I'm pretty consistent. I think you probably will be. But then 6 to 10, and then some of the honourable mentions could all swap a little bit for me. So, yeah.
We've definitely teased this enough. And if you're not familiar with Zelonius, pro FIFA player, pro FIFA coach, content creator, analyst, what else should I add in there? Am I building you up well? If you weren't a married man, I'd be doing a great job right now.
I appreciate it. I think you sold me pretty well. I'm not sure pro FIFA coach would work too well with women anyway, to be fair, but yeah.
If you own it right, you might have a chance. But in theory,
True.
yeah, I'm not sure that it would be a #1 upsell. People saying, "Oh, I'm so impressed. Tell me more about your through balls. Oh, how you control the midfield. Oh, you virtual pitch mastermind. Hook it up."
Know how to use the jockey button.
Oh, girl, I'll show you how to jockey. Enough of that. Here's my list. #1, I have team of the season Ramos. #2, this is gonna
Ramos
go.
#1.
I have Ramos #1. I like him over. And #2 is gonna shake the room. Opara is #2 for me. I love him. #3, 99 overall Virgil Van Dyke, who I'm assuming you have at #1. Varane at #4, Blanc at 5, Militao at 6, Rio Ferdinand at 7, Carlos at 8, Boateng at 9, and Canavaro at #10. Tell me about your list. Please dissect mine.
Okay, our lists are very different.
I told you that before we got started.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be quite that different, but yeah. Do you want me to start with my top 10?
All ears right now, because I have not talked to anybody else. I polled the community a little bit. I did a little Twitter.
Yeah,
Tweet. Yeah, I sent that out. I was just curious what people were talking about. But I stand by my choices, but I know that a lot of them were controversial.
Okay, so #1, you predicted it. I feel like I have to go with the 99 centre-back in the game. Big man Virgil Van Dyke. I think he's just got too much of a presence on the game. He's insane. #2, you've not even got him in your list. Can you guess?
No idea where you're going. Did I make a mistake in my list? Maybe I left somebody off.
Fellow countryman, DeLit. So I've got
Really? Interesting,
Yeah.
because I've used Team of the Year DeLit. I've used for over 500 games. So
Yeah,
I have
we'll
them. I
probably
put them
dissect
in.
it properly, won't we? But yeah, DeLit's my #2.
If I was
Yeah.
doing the honorable mention thing, DeLit would be in that combo for a #8 to 10 spot for me. Go ahead.
That's fair, yeah. #3, Ramos. I think this is the only exact rating we agreed on. #4, I've got Varane. 5, I've got Moments Maldini. 6, I've got Opara. 7, I don't know if this is cheating, and I've not even tried him there yet, but based on what I've seen of the card and what I think he will play, because some of these obviously you don't use them for loads, I'm putting the 93 Mendy off chem at #7.
So you're putting fullbacks now or center backs. I do think you're cheating a little bit. We might have to take one of your honorable mentions. Because then I could have had Vieira as a holding mid, playing now as a center back if I put him into that equation.
I just think Mendy could be insane there, but so I can move him off and put an honorable mention in. But yeah, he's #7. #8, I've got the tops Smaldini, or Chris Smalling as he's known. #9, De Vrij, or people in my stream have called him.
De Vrij is good to go as well.
Yeah.
Another guy that I definitely had in my back and forth equation. I wasn't sure.
You can call him the fridge. And then #10, the #10 I've got Diego Carlos. And then the honourable mentions that all could have probably anywhere from 7 to 10. Joe Gomez, Upamecano, Blanc, Canavaro, Rio, Marquinhos, Militao, and then Boateng.
So you made a second top 10. Yeah, you were really playing this one
yeah.
safe. People are gonna be like, look, he thought about him. He thought about him. That's my guy. I've said this in many videos, and I have a feeling you'll agree with this. I actually believe there's probably 30 plus top tier center backs in FIFA 20. Therefore, it makes for a lot of debate and interpretation of what's going to be your ideal partnership, your budget, what works for you. I really like Maldini as well this year.
Yeah, a lot of it's based on experience. So I've seen people have one bad game with a centre back, and then that just ruins it for them. Or they made one silly mistake that any centre back could have had. Or they play against someone using a centre back who had a crazy game and they fall in love with them. A lot of it, I think, is quite a lot of bias based on what you've seen.
You've heard my list. You've heard Zelonius' list. Comment down below. Whose do you prefer? Don't take into consideration his additional 10 honorable mentions. I thought you were going to have another 3 that you added on. You gave us a top 20. But if you aren't subscribed to him, make sure to go over there, drop him a subscription. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, it was great to be a part of it. I appreciate you inviting me, Mike.
You guys can let us know if you want to run it back for either the midfield or if we go into the attackers. But I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.